Welcome guys, my name's Mark, I'm an entrepreneur and property investor, and in today's video I am giving you the secrets. Everybody's been telling me I should package this up and sell it as a course, but this is the secrets of BRRR. Buy, refurbish, refinance, rent. And for me, this channel has never been about making money. It's about making sure that you guys have all the information. So I'm not holding anything back. I'm gonna tell you how you can save on tax. I'm gonna tell you how you can get your stamp duty completely free of charge and the loophole that gets you through that. I'm gonna give you some really good information. I'm gonna save you thousands of pounds and make you tens of thousands of pounds if I can. So stick with me through this video. I'm gonna go through absolutely everything. It's absolutely boiling here in Oxfordshire. It's nice and sunny. I'm sure Nick's going to put some fantastic B-roll in, but let's head to the whiteboard and get this video going. Let's go. And I'm going to take my glasses off because things are getting serious. So guys, welcome to the studio. We're going to go through the BRRR secrets, buy, refurbish, refinance and rent. And I'm going to give you all of the information that I can, that I think isn't freely available, but will give the biggest impact to you. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about on here is how to build relationships with agents. Now, what I mean by that is estate agents quite often are the people who are going to get the best deals before they go anywhere else, even before they go to auction. People quite often take a property to an estate agent who might then say, actually, you need to put this into auction. However, if you can get on the list with an estate agent before it would get put into auction, you can get those phone calls. And I know that because we get these phone calls. So my biggest bit of advice straight away would be to say, build really good relationships with estate agents. That will serve you well. My number two thing is to know what adds value and what doesn't. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, when you're doing a BRRR project, you're really looking at projects that need to have a value uplift. Now, changing windows and doors don't really have any perceived value increase because it's sort of a given that it would have windows and doors. I've got some really good favourite value adds for me when I'm doing these sort of projects. First of all, turn the paper the right way. Favourite value adds. Excellent. So here's my favourite ones. First of all, adding a bedroom. Now you'll quite often see a 2-bedroom property. Let me bring this forward. You'll quite often see a 2-bedroom property with this sort of layout, okay? And what this is a bathroom, bedroom, bedroom. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to make this into a 3-bedroom property without sacrificing too much space. Well, this is going to become a bedroom and this is going to become a bathroom in here. And the way that that happens, then you've still got your bedroom here that's a decent size, bedroom here that's a decent size, bedroom here that's still a really good size, and you put your bathroom in between there. And that sort of project allows you to take a 2-bedroom house and turn it into a 3-bedroom house. And in the UK, we do value properties by the number of bedrooms. So my favourite thing is to add a bedroom, and how you do that, there's lots of ways of doing it, that's just one. The next thing is to add space, but be aware about where you are in the country. So for example, if you're anywhere down south or anywhere where the above average house prices, I would be saying add square footage, build an extension, go up into the loft. If you go into London, all of the properties have loft extensions. Why? Because space is so valuable. So when it comes down to BRR, adding space is key if you want to push that value up as high as possible. My last thing would be kitchens and bathrooms, all the cosmetics, right? These sort of things are really, really things that people do look at when they're purchasing a property. You've never heard someone say, oh, those are wonderful walls. No, wonderful kitchen, wonderful bathroom, wonderful windows, maybe, at a push. But really it's kitchens, bathrooms, flooring, all that sort of stuff that adds the value. Let's go back to the list, because I've got some really good ones coming up and I want to go through the rest of this. My next one was going to be auction and pre-auction. So if you scour the internet through the auction sites and you have a look at what's coming up for sale, quite often you can find things that you'd be interested in, go and visit them, and you can offer before the auction takes place. Now, not always is the vendor going to be open to that, but on occasion you can pick up some real good deals pre-auction or at auction. So I would definitely recommend making sure that you every month have a look at what's coming up for sale at auction and also what it's sold for, because that allows you to get a real good idea of what the market's doing at any one point in time. For me, I've seen auctions go well and badly. So just be aware that there are obviously reasons that these properties are being put into auction. And what you want to do is avoid those pigs that have those hidden problems that you might not be aware of. So my fourth thing, this is going to save you thousands, potentially. So this is stamp duty down to 0%. And thanks to PN Bewley versus HMRC, which was in 2019, where they successfully argued that a property that had asbestos and no kitchen was uninhabitable, they were able to make an argument for it to use mixed dwelling relief, which actually meant that the stamp duty on it became significantly less. Now, if you use a stamp duty calculator, you'll be able to see exactly how much you'll save on each instance, but at 150k, if you're buying a house for 150k or less, it's zero stamp duty, regardless of how many you own. You could own 15 properties, you're not paying the 3%, it's 0%. So this is a big tip. This is something that I would massively recommend. And if you've got bridging fees and all those sort of things coming in on a deal, it can help offset any of those costs. So getting that stamp duty right down to zero, like I did on the property in Corby, it had no kitchen, it had no bathroom, I paid no stamp duty. It really helped make that deal stack up so much better by saving that 4 or 5 grand at the beginning as a cost. So stamp duty, really key, do your calculations. The other thing that you could use on that is multiple dwelling relief. I mean, I can do a whole new video on stamp duty actually, and I will. I'll do a whole video on things that you can do to avoid stamp duty, because you could buy a limited company that owns houses and then you avoid stamp duty. There's lots of stuff you can do. Bear in mind, I'm not an accountant, you should take independent financial advice, all that stuff, but have a look, PM Bewley versus HMRC, you can read the case. Essentially, if a property has no kitchen, no bathroom, if it's uninhabitable, it then uses mixed dwelling relief, which ultimately means 0% if it's under 150k. And there's still really significant savings all the way up to £500,000. So my last point on my list is to like this video and subscribe to the Mark Parham YouTube channel. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be giving away an investment house, so why not? But in all seriousness, I think you should do your sums. And that is my last point on here. You really have to know that you're buying right, that you've got a good handle on what the known issues are, and that potentially you've even got multiple exits. So BRR stands for buy, refurbish, refinance, and rent. So you've got to pay attention to the refinance, what sort of deal are you going to get on the back end, what sort of product are you going to be going on to, and the R for the rent. And this is where doing your sums is so important, because a deal might stack up really nicely as a service accommodation, but then when you get towards the end, you realise that the area is not right, or there's something just not right, or there's been a legislation change, which I'm sure there's going to be some legislation in service accommodation at some point. It can't stay this unregulated forever. But you've got to make sure that the deal stacks up on multiple facets so that you've got these exits in place. The time when I've seen deals fall down is where people have not done their sums correctly. And it's just so, so important. At the end of the day, this is a commercial endeavour. Stacking your deals, making sure the sums are all correct is my number one thing, actually. Although it's number 5 on here, it should be number 1. And to that end, I've put on my website a list of resources, sheets that you can download. They will give you everything absolutely free of charge. Look in the description. There'll be a link in there. I think it's /resources on my website. And you can download the sheets. That will give you a BRR to HMO, BRR to service accommodation, all the sheets you could possibly need to stack your deals and see what they look like. So let's recap and go through these one last time before we finish the video. First of all, build relationships with agents, absolutely key. Number 2, know what adds value. We're talking kitchens, bathrooms, and some of my favourite value adds, adding a bedroom, adding space, all that sort of stuff. We're looking at auction and pre-auction, making sure we're going out, visiting them, potentially building up relationships with the agents that are putting them into auction and seeing if we can get offers in pre-auction. Stamp duty, bearing in mind if it's uninhabitable, using the mixed dwelling relief. PM Bewley versus HMRC proves that you can do that. If you've done any deals, by the way, in the last, I think it's 4 years, so back to 2016, that were uninhabitable, you can reclaim your stamp duty. I know lots of people have done that, so just bear that in mind. Number 5, make sure you do your sums, make sure you're buying right, make sure you know all the exits that you've got planned, and hopefully BRR will work out well for you. It's a fantastic strategy. It works extremely well on the right properties, and I really hope that you take on some of these secrets and that it saves you thousands and makes you tens of thousands. So I've been Mark Parham. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As I said, like and subscribe. I'll be massively appreciative, and put any comments down below. I'll answer every single one. Take care, and I'll see you again on Friday.